Man, I look way more sunburned than I really am on Zoom. I'm not that sunburned, just so you know. It really looks like I am. But if anyone ever doubts that I'm a natural blonde, there's so much blonde here right now. It's absolutely insane. Kind of want to leave it and see what would happen. And you can also tell that I have this really bad habit of not taking my sunglasses off. So here we are. I also can't see when my sunglasses are off. So then I end up with coon eyes for 2 weeks at a time. So thanks for hanging out. I hope that all of you guys had an incredible holiday weekend, however much time you got off, if you had any off. We had lots and lots of family and fun things going on here. So I am pooped, but I'm ready to get back at it. And so also I wanted to point out if there are any people, because I just got done messaging with someone that have been or have purchased anything as far as my courses or just pieces of products inside of that. There's a little bit of a thing going on right now that I'm going to get figured out today. So if you haven't, you just haven't got the information, I've probably already sent you a message or send me a message. But we're going to get that figured out today. It was just a little bit of a glitch going on. So it would allow you to pay, but not send you the product. So don't worry, I'm not running away. You know where to find me. All the places you can find me. So I wanted to talk today about plan because I'm definitely a plan, do, review type of person. I don't like doing things like throwing spaghetti on the wall and just kind of being like, okay, this isn't working, but I'm just going to keep doing it. I truly believe that when people don't see some kind of results, and this goes for anything, if they don't start seeing some kind of results, they usually quit or they say it didn't work, right? I was just having this conversation with people this weekend that reminds me so much of the unfortunate part of network marketing, right? People don't get fast enough results and they quit and they point blame at other people. But it was really one of those things where it's like, hey, you didn't plan to review your strategy or what you were doing, or if you even had a strategy, you were just, throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping and praying for the best, which hoping and praying, that's going to help. But there has to be some kind of strategy that creates results for you, big or small, because that's when people go, oh, okay, this is working. I'm going to keep doing it, right? Like, think about if you go to the gym for 60 days and you eat clean and you just can't lose any weight. That's frustrating. You're like, what the heck am I doing? I don't want to go to the gym anymore. I'm gonna just go back to my old ways, my old habits, because that's not working, right? So you can tie that results driven part to almost any aspect in life. And I always do, because I'm a very results driven person. If something's not working, I want to change it, but I give it the opportunity to work if it were to work. But if I'm like, hey, it's not working, I'm changing it. And so like that last week, that's why I talked about deleting social media platforms and starting over, especially if you've rebranded, or if you said, oh, you know what, I was doing this and now I'm doing this. I've got a new niche and it's this, and you're not seeing the results that you want, right? You got to plan, do, review. And so I wanted to talk more of strategy today, and how, if you're someone that's looking at building a strategy for your social media, or maybe you're like, I don't even know what the heck she's talking about, we can do all of the above on that. Because I do think that there has to be some kind of strategy, some kind of, I'm not just posting and praying, or that was one of my favorite things that Rob Spear used to say on all of his trainings, because it's so true. People will post something and then they'll pray that they get customers, and I'm praying for you too. But most of the time what happens is we need to do more than just post and pray. We need to go back and engage. We need to go back and go to their profile. We need to send a DM in the stories. Like, there's so many different things when it comes to the strategies on how you can create results, because I do believe that big wins are built on small wins, small wins, small wins, small wins, to get to the big win, to the real thing that you want. But it also continues to create that drive for you, because if you start getting frustrated, things are not working, you're going to quit. That didn't work, blah, right? I'm super mad. I'm going to go do something else now. And unfortunately, that's why I said it matches so much with network marketing, because I do see so many people join a company and they try it for like 2 weeks and it didn't work. They hop to the next one, join it for 2 weeks, it didn't work, hop to the next one. And I'm not really good at math, but that sounds like there's a common denominator there, and it's not the company or the product, right? It's the person not even giving it an opportunity to put in the work and get some results, however that might look for you, right? So, and like I've said before, social media has changed so much in the last 7 years. Like, when I had first started network marketing, we could post and spam and only post product and do company graphics. All of that has changed now. All of that has changed. If you still see people doing that stuff, especially on your teams, if it's something that you can be, this hair is going to drive me nuts. I'm just going to leave it out here like this. It just comes right back out after I do that. It says hello. It's like a waving hand on the side of my head. If you see someone on your team, and this is where too, coaching in this part of social media when it comes to network marketing, I'm not the type that really likes to offend people, but I think in a nice constructive criticism way, pull somebody on your side on your team and be like, hey, that, kind of what you're doing is a little bit spammy. And I learned my lesson, right? It's like that theory I have now, like if I trip over the rock and you're right behind me, don't trip over the same rock. That just doesn't make sense, right? If you saw me trip, laugh, and then help me get up and let's go have you go around the rock. Why not? Because you already know that, hey, if I go over there, I'm going to trip over that same rock. So a lot of the things that I share when I talk about strategies and stuff like that is just things that I've already tripped over the rock on, things that I already know haven't worked. Like when people have sales with companies, right? It's past July 4th. Everybody has sales with their companies. I see some people get so creative and strategic about how they promote the sale. And then I see some people that you can tell, just pop something off their company's Instagram, screenshotted it, threw it on their stories. And there's something about that now that doesn't work as well as it used to. And a lot of people get stuck in their ways, right? Stuck in your old ways, stuck in your habits, stuck in the things that that you think have worked for you. But things have changed a lot. We need to attract more instead of detract. I'm not sure if that's a word, but it made me think of mosquitoes, right? Like if you got to put some repellent on to keep them away from you, please do so. So when it comes to having a strategy, and basically all I mean is with a strategy is things that you're focusing on when you're creating content, things that you're focusing on when you are talking in your stories, going live, making reels, posting about things that are on brand with you and your product and yourself, right? Because a lot of the times, you see people post something and you can even think of someone right now where you're like, that's not them. Or that doesn't, like if I'm a super positive person and I get on and I start like arguing with someone inside of a comment thread, right? That's not on brand for me. I have my Positivity Gangster shirt on too today. It is on brand for, maybe 2008 Sydney, but as a different person who works in business online now, I don't argue with people on messages anymore, right? It doesn't align with my brand and my values. I just delete and move on. But there are people and there are things that don't align with people's brands that they still are posting on social media. They're still sharing about on social media. They are, I'm trying to think, I see so many sometimes that actually what I'll do is I'll start posting the things that I see, not calling people out, but like posting things that I see inside my Slayer social group. Again, just so that if you see people on your team doing it or you do it and you're like, oh, that's not working for me. Okay. If whatever you're doing is working and I say, hey, that hasn't worked for me. If it's working for you though, you keep doing it. Just because we all definitely have different targets that we are marketing to, all of us, even if we are in the same friends, we've been friends for 5 years, we're in the same company, whatever, we all have a different group of friends. So one of the most important things when it comes to the strategy is having a clear objective on exactly what you want on your social media. Do you want people engaging with you? Do you want to gain more leads and more revenue? Do you want to drive people to a website? Do you want to just create a place of humor? Are you trying to build brand awareness and increase your brand awareness, right? Especially like for me, I think about, and I'll just use me because it's probably the easiest target. I want to build more brand awareness about me being a social media coach now for network marketers. I want to build more brand awareness on that. So my objective when I'm creating content has to really point towards that. And I've learned that shift in the last couple of weeks of being able to say, okay, I want to be funny because that's just how I am. But also my objective is to create more brand awareness on my social media courses and things and the things that I offer to people. I have to do more things that are going to help people understand what I'm doing now. Right. So one of the things I love about when you have an objective too on exactly what you want out of your content, you learn how to create it. The content in your mind just explodes. When I had this serious like aha moment in a mastermind, that I'm doing with Jess, when I had this aha moment about really targeting, nailing down my target audience and saying, this is what these are the people I want, right? These exact people. My whole mind just started exploding with content ideas. So when you gain that clear objective on exactly what you want to come out of your social media, your content totally shifts. Like I watched Jill's content, Pacadenas, who's on here. Soon as she nailed down the objective and the target audience, all the content shifted right towards that. And I just see her like all the time pumping out some good stuff that it's like, it goes totally with increasing her brand awareness, letting people know what she's doing. And I was like, ooh, yeah, you just love it when you have that like, ooh, ah moment. So, and one of the things that happens too, when you're creating a strategy, right, is your targeted approach. So even though when you know your target audience, right, your approach to finding the right people with the right messaging is going to maximize your chances of success. And that, my friends, only comes with taking action. So many people too are like, well, how am I going to know what the right message is? How am I going to know what the right close is? How am I going to, you can get all the scripts from your upline, your sisters, nephews, brothers, cousins, raccoon. It doesn't matter until you start putting action into it and saying, oh, wow, I closed that sale because exactly what I said here. Right. And one of your strategies when it comes to having a social media strategy should be plan, doing review every couple months. Is it I'm getting more sales when I'm selling on live or when I'm selling that one day a week and I'm going hard about my product? Or am I getting more sales when I'm posting like lifestyle things like me on a vacation or me being able to take my parents on a little cabin trip or me being able to spend more time with my kids, right? At some point you need to be, whether it's 30, 60, 90 days. I usually do it like every 30 days, especially because I'm really trying to shift my brand right now. What's working for me, right? Like I know for me, when I do my little TikToks and my reels about whatever course or thing that I'm offering, that's helping build awareness. But when I go inside my stories and I just say, hey, I just launched this today, I'm really excited about it. And that's just to my only, my friends, followers that I have on that platform. That's when I actually sell things. That's when people actually buy something. So I had to go, okay, my approach now to my target audience is talking in my stories exactly what my offer is. Putting a little, I usually like attach a little link for them to click to it and go right to it. That helps a ton. What doesn't help me is when I make a post about whatever I'm doing. The algorithm schmalgorithm hates all my wording when I do that. So I get nada out of that. So I stopped doing that, right? Because it's not creating results for me. I'm not going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep bashing my head against the same wall. I'm more like, I want to bash my head and like make a hole for me to jump through. That's like how I, in my mind, create a result. So don't bash your head against the same wall all the time. And sometimes I think too, what's super important is if you are inside the Slay Your Social group and you want to say, hey, can someone give me tips and ideas on this post, right? That's exactly what that group's for. Hey, I'm going to make this post. Give me your tips and your ideas. If you're someone that's like, I just need to start all over. If you go to the link in any of my bios, you can book a social media audit and I'll go through one whole platform with you. And I remember I did one for one of the girls. Her name is Michelle. I'm thinking because she was so excited while we were doing it. And then afterward, she started sending me, because basically what I do is I spend 30 minutes looking at her stuff and I spend 30 minutes going over it with you. And as soon as we did it, she was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even realize that. And this is already helping me. And this is what just happens is this light bulb clicks on in your mind where you're like, oh, that's what I need to be doing. That's what I need to do more of. That's what my people want to see, right? And sometimes it's very easy to just go on your social media and ask people. Go in a pulled story and say, what do you want to see more of? Is it my products, my results? Is it my things that I coach on? Is it the motivation? Is it the humor, right? Ask people what they want to see, because lots of us are saying no one's saying anything or seeing anything, but what are you asking them, right? One of the things that should be a huge part of your strategy is in your content planning, how many times a week are you selling and using call to action? How many times a week? Because so many people go, I haven't used a call to action in like 3 weeks. Well, that could be why you haven't sold anything, because you haven't told anybody, hey, go do this now. Maybe that's why you haven't had anybody join your business, because a part of your content strategy is posting every single morning about what you're doing. I watch Kristen every single morning, never fails. Never fails. Women can be like on vacation doing 8,000 things like she is, never fails, always posting about her stuff. And then I see her consistently having people join her business, having people join in her product, having people get results because it's consistent content planning. And I'm sure she has a clear objective on what she wants to do, right? I want people to join my business. I want people to buy my product. So that makes the content really easy. Sometimes I think what happens with people on social media is they get so overwhelmed by having to like, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that. I need to do it. Pull back for a second, do one of those little Venn diagram things. Those are my favorite things to do for everything in life, honestly. Every time we have like, Haas and I, like a family thing going on, I'm like, let's do a circle graph. And my stepmom corrected me this weekend. It's Venn diagram. I was like, okay, sorry. I just called it a circle graph from kindergarten. I don't know. But create the, what are these things that I can share about? And then you start going off more here. Oh, I'm a boy mom. But what about being a boy mom? Is it, the falling down all the time? Is it the, thing all the time? Lord have mercy. I don't know how that kid survived in school because he eats at home now. Like, I don't know how he made it. I just asked him the other day, like, did you eat this many times at school? Because I didn't pack you this much. So what you'll get there too is content planning strategies, things that will help you go, oh, this is good content. A lot of the times too, when it comes to strategy, I think it's super important if you're someone that is overwhelmed with the content planning and how to do it, you got to start creating batched content. Spend it. And I am not the person, I always say this to people too, when I'm talking to them with coaching, like I'm quite a nice person, not 100% a fan of confrontation, but I will be the person that goes, don't tell me you don't have time, because you do. I worked at Dollar Tree an obscene amount of hours. Then I got pregnant and still reached the top rank in my company doing there was no excuses at all, ever. You make the time. If you are working and you're like, well, I get home and I'm really tired from work. Do you want your business to grow though? Like literally look at yourself in the mirror and say, do I want my business to grow? Okay, then I need to take an hour before I get my work clothes off and my hair undone and my makeup off and just go do a couple reels. I've said this before, I think, but if you haven't heard me, find someone, an accountability partner, maybe somebody on your team or your spouse. Like Haas and I never talk on Instagram. So whenever I want to create a bunch of reels, and let's just say, I'm doing something and I'm not batching yet, right? And I'm in the middle of something. And so I'll just start sending him reels that I want to batch content create. And then as soon as I'm ready, I come in my office, I shut the door, I bring a couple change of different shirts, and I just bam, 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 bam. That way, for the next 3 days, I have content that I'm able to put out. I'm not overwhelmed by creating the content. Also because there's a strategy to it, right? And so if you're going, I can't content plan because I don't have time, you need to start creating the time. You need to start batching the content, right? It's super easy, honestly. Once you got it down, you can create a bunch of reels within an hour, just sitting in your office, your car, at home, have your family do one with you, whoever it might be. But another thing I've talked about a couple weeks ago is the B-roll content. So if you're cooking, cleaning, doing dishes, right? And you're just like, I haven't created any content this week. Do a quick recording of you doing the dishes and put something over it later. Do a quick recording. I saw Jill was like sitting on her back porch, like looking around. Those are perfect. That created I'm sure that in her mind, that was like no effort. Most effort that came out of it was like putting the words on the screen, right? That's just straight up easy content to do, but you have to have some kind of strategy when you are creating content, because another part of having a strategy online is consistent branding of what you're doing. And one of the things about online is visual elements. So the reels, the pictures. That's why I cringe a bit inside when I see people do company graphics. I used to do it too, don't worry. I'm not saying I'm, superior. I did it all the time. I even joke about when I see my old posts, I put my email on there and I was like, was I really going to have people email me? That's so weird. But I don't think we had messaging yet at the back of that time. But what happens, right, is consistent branding starts to build trust, starts to build relationships, starts to build recognition, starts to build valuable content where somebody looks at you and they're like, oh my gosh, I know that she knows how to do this. She knows how to create this. She's able to help me with this. I know, I really know I need to lose weight, but I'm just, been doing the summer thing, right? Where I'm just eating my head off and blah, blah, blah. But when I'm ready, when school starts, I know exactly who to contact because she posts about it every single day because she has consistent branding. I know what it is. So that content planning is going to help with your consistent brand strategy because your content, right, should align with your branding. All of your content should align with your branding. And if you're at the spot where you're like, I don't know that, circle graph, right? Create that really target audience person so that you can narrow it down. Because when I first started to want to social media coach, I'm like, I want to coach everyone. I want to be, I felt like Haas. I want to be everyone's friend. And I was like, wait, that's not going to work. It was actually Jess. She's like, yeah, it's not going to work. Okay. Can't be everyone. So I narrowed it down. And then she's like, narrow it down more and narrow it down more. And until I got it completely narrowed down to exactly the person that I want to coach, my content was all over the place. So until you know exactly who that target audience person is, your content might be a little all over the place, which is also not creating the results that you want. So spend some time focusing on that part of your business so that your content's super consistent with your branding. And then another part I think that is super important when it comes to identifying your audience, right? Knowing about your content strategies, your planning, your branding is measuring things. So that's why I wanted to do a plan because we're like in month 7 of 2023. And Lord has mercy, why does like the years go by so fast and the days and stuff is blowing my mind. I said something about the beginning of the week last night and I was like, tomorrow's Wednesday. What the heck? So anyway, we're in the middle of summer, okay? We're in the middle of the year. We got like 6 months left of this year. So I always at a 6-month point, I say, plan to review time. What's working, what's not working. Especially if I go, oh my gosh, what's working is me posting. So for me, what's working really well for me is reposting my reels that I make on TikTok and Instagram to Facebook. So once I see that's working, boom, I'm gonna start doing more of it. And I have so many reels on my TikTok that I've never reposted to my Facebook just because I wasn't thinking smart. I was, not working smarter. I was working harder. And so I was like, I need to start posting all those because it's an easy piece of content, especially if it's on brand with what I'm doing, but it's an easy piece of content, puts eyes on me. It's a short form video. It's a visual thing for someone to see. So if that's what it is for you, if you go, I really know that when I go live and I sell stuff on live, I get happy, I get results. How much are you doing that? Is it once a month? And does that align with your goals and your objectives in your business? Are you wanting to sell more of your samples or your product or your offers? Then I would be doing that like once or twice a week on every platform possible. Really align. That's why I was saying too, it's very important. I think the most important part of the strategies is defining your objective. What exactly do you want out of this? This is something, I think it's called the game plan review from Eric Worre, but it was something that I learned the hard way in my network marketing business because I am definitely a very motivated person. In high school, I would grab people for a group project and I'd be like, hey, don't worry about it, guys. I'm going to do it because I want it done right and I want it turned in on time. So you guys just relax and we're going to get an A. That's the type of person I am. So sometimes, when you're working with people and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what you want. Like, or how about when you're leading people and you're like, this is, again, something I learned the hard way. I had to start saying, how do you want me to lead you? If you don't show up to something, am I going to be like, oh, it's okay? Or if you don't show up to something, I'm going to be like, you should have been there. Because that's just me, my natural personality. I'm like, why weren't you there? What's your excuse? I was over here with like a baby on my hip and stuff. Why weren't you there? So also that part of it, when you define that objective and exactly what you want, right? And I just compare it to network marketing because again, that's exactly the type of people that I want to train online from some of the things that I've already tripped over the rock on. So another part of the strategy too is choose your platforms, okay? I know for some people, they might not be a fan of TikTok. They might not be a fan or they're not seeing results on Instagram. I don't want you to go, I don't like it, I don't want to do it, okay? I want you to do one of two things. Maybe you need to delete and start over because you need to rebrand. Maybe you need to delete and start over because just things have totally shifted and you just want a clean slate. Okay. Because sometimes with some people, they get all these really high views or all these random bot followers, and it looks cool to you. I am not the coach that will tell you, I don't care about followers. I don't care about likes and engagement. I care about what's going into your bank account. That's what I care about. Creating 10 raving fans that would buy your product over and over again is so much more important to me than if you have 1,000 views on a TikTok. If it created no, or, you know, even if it had no relevance with your brand and it created no revenue, it's like, what's the point? I was like, a waste of time, right? Sometimes that's why influencers drive me nuts, because they're like, oh yeah, well, I'm an influencer and I get like 1 million views on a video. And I'm like, but did you make any money? Because I don't go to sleep at night like, yay, these views, so excited. I get more excited like, oh, yay, my business is growing, my revenue is growing. I'm able to help and supplement some income. That's so exciting. Now I can pay for this vacation or do that, right? So really, really defining your goals and your objective when it comes to social media. What results do you want out of it? That will honestly, if you get anything from this today, that will honestly be the most important thing that will help your content explode. It will help your branding explode. It will help your consistency explode. Because if you're going, I really want to create more business partners in my business. When was the last time you talked about your business? When was the last time you talked about what you have to offer? You as a leader, what have you accomplished? When was the last time you did that? I'm not trying to call anybody out, so don't worry. But most people are like, oh yeah, it's been a hot minute since I did that. Well, I got to talk about a business to have a business. Sometimes with the way the world's going, you know, everybody's doing affiliate marketing and Lord have mercy, I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff going on. Half the people, you don't even know if they're selling something anymore. Maybe they're not. Maybe they don't have a business. Maybe they just have the links in their bio and they get some, you know, kind of percentage from it. But maybe they think that thing about you. Maybe they don't know that they can join your business because you haven't posted about it lately. So when I talk about choosing a platform, really, really look at it and go, okay, I might not like TikTok, but if I was on there consistently and I just repurposed all my stuff from Facebook and Instagram, just gave it a shot and got a result out of it, you might start enjoying it. Sometimes people don't like things because they're not getting results out of them and it feels more like a job. And I understand that. That's kind of how I was feeling about Instagram before I really clicked on my clear objective, my target audience, exactly what I want. As soon as I did that and flipped my content, I was like, okay, I like this place again. Yay. Sometimes that's all you need, is to just have that clear objective, what you're doing, what you want to accomplish, and who exactly you're talking to, because you cannot be for everyone. You will not be for everyone. Your business, your product, I don't care what it is not for everyone. It could be the easiest thing ever, and someone tells you I need something easy, and they're going to tell you this is so hard, right? But then you got like 1,000 other people who love it. So don't focus on that I'm for everyone on social media. You're going to be for that one specific person. And then what I want to leave you with is staying updated on the things that go on social media. And I'm not telling you you have to start researching things, but start plugging yourself and your team. I will be that person for you into the Slay Your Social group, into the Zooms. I go live on TikTok, all types of different things that I will keep you updated on. But as much as you are informed about things on there, use the things. Like when I go my Slay Your Social and I post like a new update from one of the apps and it says, you know, ooh, this just came out, go try it. Go give it a try. I'll tell you how to do it, right? But go try it, because so many people don't realize that when you start utilizing the things that each platform gives you when they're first dropping, like the reels or the stories or the, you know, if you see something that comes up, and I get this thing on Instagram all the time, like I'm on a creative streak, right? I'm going to stay on that streak. I'm going to keep posting stuff. And that's just exactly what you need to do, is as I bring in things that will keep you updated, just adapt, really. Because that's, as an entrepreneur, we're going to have to adapt. We're always going to have to adapt. I think about, you know, the panoramic that happened. Whoa, we all had to adapt 2 years ago. Was that 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I don't even know what year it is. We all had to adapt and shift our lives. And most of us, that was hard. But I think for some of us entrepreneurs, we're like, hey, we're used to this. You know, we're just going to go adapt into the next thing. Now everything's going to be online. Now we're going to do a bunch of videos. Now we're going to be stuck inside the house. We got to find a way to get on Zoom and talk to clients that way and have parties that way, or, you know, whatever kind of local thing you do on that way, right? So adapt, but just stay in the know. And as long as you're here with me, I will keep you inside all of the know. So really what I hope that helped you with is just creating a plan, because I think that's so important, not to just throw spaghetti at the wall and hope that, everything will work for you on social media. Spend maybe, 30 minutes today while you're Netflixing and chilling at the end of the night. And you're going to go through and just say, hey, this is what's working. This is what's not working. This is what's working. This is what's not working. Inside one of my courses too, which don't go buy it yet, because we got to fix that part of it. But inside one of them, I show you on the platforms how the literal platform will tell you what's working, what's not working. And that's where you should go, okay, I should do more of that content. Your audience is telling you what they want to see more of. So if you ever look for the recordings of these two, I just want to let you know, they go inside the guide inside my group. If you want to share them out with people, they just got to be added to the group. And then also you can find them on my podcast. And I'll see you guys here every single Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great rest of your week.